So we got 1,081 new listeners on Spotify for 55 cents each. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing how we did that with Spotify ads and also share with you with the brand new training, the Spotify ad templates and best practices. I'll put the link below this video. But we invested $600 in a Spotify ads campaign. We got 1,081 new listeners, and so that's only 55 cents per listener. Is that not crazy, right? And these are not any bots. These are running Spotify ads, which I'm going to show you in just a second. And we also found out that the average listener, like the new listener, streamed other songs 6 times. So that's each new listener went and streamed 6 more songs. That's the average. So some people streamed 10 songs, some people streamed 8, some maybe only streamed 2 or 4, but the average was 6. So it's pretty amazing. Think about that. Someone hears your song for the very first time, they're like, oh man, and they just start listening to another one, and another one, and they become a fan. I want to show you how to do this. I'm going to share my screen right now. So I'm in my Spotify dashboard here, adsstudio.spotify.com, and I'm just going to change this to the last 90 days, and I'm going to focus on this ad set right here. We had a whole bunch of different ads running, and I really want to focus on this one over here that we invested $600 in. And as you can see, if I scroll over, we invested $600. It got 1,081 new listeners, right? New listeners. And I can see that the average streams per new listener was 6.27. On some of these, they streamed my songs 10 times. They went and listened to 10 more songs. I think that was an ad campaign in Germany. But if I scroll back here and then I click on this video and I go deeper, Spotify gives me even more data. I can see what the click-through rate is. I can see how many actual listeners that I got. And then again, if I click on the ad itself, so I can pull up the full report, I can see the ad frequency. I can see how many people was reached. So 74,000 impressions so that saw the ad, right? 1,200 clicks. So that's how many people actually clicked on the ad and went in to go listen to more music. That's where we get the click-through rate. And then if I scroll down here, you can see where my call to action was. Here's where my video ad was. And then the companion image, the image that they want to see. And so what's so powerful about this is that you can just target people right on Spotify. You know, they're not having to jump platforms. I always say to artists, if you want to grow YouTube, then run YouTube ads. If you want to grow Spotify, run Spotify ads. If you want to grow Facebook ads. Right? Like it's just so much more powerful. And if I click on ad sets, and then I just go back to this ad here, and I don't know if it'll let me edit it or not, but you can do all kinds of targeting, age, country. Like I can target the US, I can target Canada, United Kingdom, and I share all of this inside my Spotify ads templates. But I just wanted to show you how powerful and how cheap it really is if you get the ad dialed in. And so you need to get your click-through rate up. You need to know what to say in your Spotify ad, where you're taking them to, and obviously the music has to be good. But if again we do the math here, and I do $600, 600 divided by 1081, that's 55 cents per new listener. Total listeners is 2,105, but I'm really focused on new listeners, and I'm sure you do as well. I want to play you now the training, the video about our new training. If you go to smartmusicbusiness.com/Spotify ad templates, I go in super depth on how to set this up, the different ads, what to say, where to send them, and so how you can get really good results like this too. Because as you can see, not all of our ads got the same reach or the same impact. Some of the click-through rates were higher than others, but if we just look at one more, let's just see here. It looks like we spent $73. The budget was $350, but I paused the ad, and so we ended up only spending $73, and we got 69 new listeners, and actually the average stream was 10, so I probably turned this ad off too prematurely, which is for another day. Hey music artist, it's Chris here, also known as the Artist Manifest, and I want to give you my 3 best Spotify ad templates, training, and the best practices that you can use to promote your music on Spotify. We have just under 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and by running these Spotify ads and these different plays that I'm going to give you to increase your streams, you're going to see a massive difference, because we have spent thousands of dollars on promoting our music on Spotify, and some ads did really, really well, and some ads did not do as good. For example, one Spotify ad where we spent $250, we only got 244 new listeners, where on another Spotify ad we spent the same 250 but a different ad and we got 844 new listeners. That's almost a 4 times better result. And this is why I want to give you this training, these templates, and the best practices for when creating Spotify ads to promote your music. First of all, you're in the right place because you're fishing where the fish are. If you want to grow Spotify, then it makes sense to run Spotify ads. If you wanted to grow YouTube, you would run YouTube ads. But there's best practices and there's strategies with what you're saying in your ad as far as your call to action, where you're leading them, where they land when they click on your ad, and then of course your budgeting and how long you should run your ads so that you can trigger that algorithm. Because once you trigger the algorithm, then you couldn't spend enough money on ads, whether that's Spotify, Facebook, doesn't matter, because once that algorithm takes hold of your song, you will get thousands and thousands of streams. I shared one example where we triggered the algorithm for my song Firestarter. It was only getting like 2,000 streams a day, and then the algorithm got a hold of it, and now it's getting 21,000 streams a day. You see, artists that understand this are the ones that are successful. That amateurs focus on the front end, but professional artists focus on the back end.